Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Etcetera with the Woodards. I'm your host for the evening, Craig Woodard Sr., and I have my man with me, my little cuz, my co-host, Deontay Cooley. DC, thank you for joining me, man.
What's going on, man? Absolutely, man. We here, we rocking and rolling till the wheels fall off.
Absolutely, and this is episode 38, man, and we're going to get right into it. Let me cut this music off so we can get right into the show. Hopefully, everyone out there is watching. Man, episode 38, man. I tell you what, we've been pumping out about two of these things a week, man, and just a lot of just new information and everything. I wanted to start off with some information that sources have told, etc., that is really important. And I want to lay this out to get you guys to think of the possibility of this. So we're all wondering, why is this taking so long? We're at day 95. Why is this investigation taking so long? We've seen some other cases where they have wrapped up already, right? They have made the decision, whether it was positive or negative. We're at 95 days. So I want to throw something out to you guys. It's been publicly known that Cello was supposed to be off of probation. He would have maxed out his parole in July 18th of 2025. Well, sources tell Etcetera that in the late fall, he was given an extended special probation. That's what he was told. An extended 6 month special probation, and he couldn't get off until July 18th of 2025. Usually, when something like that happens, they owe restitution, which is fees and things like that. But they were not told that he owed any fees. They weren't told the reason why it was extended at all. And I would love to see some documentation on this. But if you backtrack, if he was given 6 months extended probation, then July 18th, that means that he technically would have maxed out January 18th of 2025. Now, sources also tell Etcetera that Kevin Seelinger allegedly is the one that told him about this information, and he didn't know this information from no one else except for his parole agent. So, if that's the case, just poking holes into this thing and talking about an angle that others may not even think about, right? What if Kevin Seelinger lied to Cello? What if he lied to him?
Hold
What
on.
if he was
When you say lie to him about what? Like his parole being extended?
exactly right? I mean, just think about the complexity. Now, and I say this because people say, "Oh, why would he lie? Why would he lie? Why would he shoot and kill somebody?" He did that, right? So when I look at that fact, I can't take a lie loosely at all. He shot and killed him. Now we say allegedly, but allegedly he shot and killed him. Cello is no longer here, so we know that. So it's a possibility that he could have lied about this special 6 month extension. Now, if that were true, and it's up to the state to prove that this narrative is not true, but if that were true, that means that Cello would have maxed out January 18th of 2025, and he would have been a civilian and not a parolee at the time, which means if he was shot and killed, which he was, allegedly by Kevin Seelinger, sitting in his car unarmed on July 2nd, wouldn't you think that the police would have had to arrest Seelinger that night, and he wouldn't be protected under the umbrella of a parole agent shooting his parolee if that was the case? Your thoughts on that? I mean, this is this. People could say this is kind of far fetched, but it wasn't far fetched. The fact that 12 seconds after he got out the car, he shot him 3 times. So I don't put anything past these folks. You know what I mean? Your thoughts on that, D?
I mean, when you break it down like that, or when you make a statement like that, then we talk about a whole larger situation than what's at hand here. And I mean, if that information is known to the powers that be, then that could be why the investigation could be extended. Because then when you consider something like that, right?
Yeah.
These are some of the things that we would have to take into consideration.
Okay.
If he was supposed to max out in January,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no documentation stating that he got a 6 month extension, he didn't sign anything, and there's nothing in his file or his record,
Right.
then yes, you are correct. He would have been killed as a civilian, but now it's more or less the investigation of who's the supervisor who's supposed to oversee these cases that are supposed to be closed to allow this mistake to go on for so long.
Right.
So now we're not just investigating a shooting, we're investigating a system that
Yeah.
has failed a man to the point to where another man felt it was okay because he had him under his supervision to shoot and kill him.
Right.
So now if we think about, let's look over his case files, because boom, if I'm a district attorney or if
Mm-hmm.
I'm an attorney and I'm fighting, one thing I'm gonna want to do is say, okay, let's see, how long have you been working with this individual since they've been released from incarceration? Let
Right.
me see his file, let me see his chart, turn it over. We're gonna subpoena that.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, you subpoena the charge, you see something. Hold on. What's this I'm seeing here that based on the original date documentation, it says that he's supposed to be done on January.
Right.
He was shot and killed on July by an agent of the state who wasn't supposed to be supervising him.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't a mistake that you can make to be like, oh, sorry, because he died.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, people, they sue for wrongful death, or wrongful imprisonment. So this, if that's the case, this is not a wrongful death by a parole agent to a parolee. This is somebody who, first of all, lied about their authority over a man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like a false imprisonment. What's that? Like maybe a Fourth Amendment, right? Because
Right.
now we're talking a false imprisonment.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Then you lying on the sake of your job, and you standing behind the Pennsylvania State Shield.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then there's no thorough documentation of it. So the case file. So now you're showing that you're not an adequate parole agent because you can't do thorough documentation. Your
Right.
documentation is not up to par. So that's another strike against you. Then you kill a man that is on parole, and you say because you're his parole agent, and if he technically was not on parole,
Yeah.
then you just outright killed a man in cold blood. And if you lied to him about his extension, you kept him on parole for a reason. And for him to be 2 weeks away, and then for you to go and hunt him and shoot him, to me, that kind of sound like, this is my speculation. I'm no attorney,
Yep.
I'm no
Yep.
lawyer or nothing like that.
Absolutely.
But if that is the case, it sounds premeditated.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. Especially, sources tell us that he was advised of this in late fall of 2024 of this so-called special probation, and we've been doing research trying to figure out what a special extended probation is. We can't find anything like that at all. I do know that probation officers are not the ones to pass on that information. There's got to be some type of documentation somewhere that states that, hey, you got an extended 6 months.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you get a 6 month hit, because I worked for the state prison,
Yeah.
7.5 years. So when
Right.
people go see parole and they get hits and stuff like that, like they get documentation letting them know you've received a parole hit.
Yep.
This is the date or this is the time frame and who signed off on it. So this information has to be documented that, okay, you are now here longer, because then you can appeal it if you don't agree with that decision.
Right. Right. Now, let me take it to the next level. Now, this is all speculation, folks. All speculation just based off of the facts that we already know, right? So, if this were true, and we're at day 95, and it's been 95 days that Kevin Seelinger has been a free man, and the DA has not made a call on this thing yet. Obviously, she already looks bad because we're at day 95. But I want to be careful of how I say this, right? What's taking her so long to make the decision? And if she becomes a part of the problem, how bad would that be? We've already stated about the conflict of interest with her knowing his family knowing her family, them showing up on a podcast together. when you think about these things and what actually happened, that he was shot and killed, you start thinking, is this could be a possible cover up or something? Is that what's taking so long that they're trying to put their ducks in a row, or And I'm not saying that they are, but what I'm saying is you can't help but to think that way, right?
Yes, and it's getting to the point now because we're doing so much speculating and we're having so much conversation about what we think and all the possibilities of what could be happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like it might take for the people to get a civil rights attorney
Yep.
to go after the district attorney for her lack of regard for the people, even if that's a thing or not. I'm not sure if that's an option or something that we are able to do, but
Mm-hmm.
it gets to a point in time to where, all right, we got to stop. You know what I mean? We got to stop just waiting and waiting and you know what I mean, and
Yep.
expecting the DA to speak to us when she's not speaking to us. But like when we think, okay, we got to go over her head, and we don't know where we need to go over her head, then I feel like that's when the civil rights attorney should step in on behalf of the people of the city and the county of Erie, because it shouldn't be this. We shouldn't be having to go this far into speculation or trying to figure out all of these things because she's not doing her part and she's not speaking to us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to look like, but I do feel as though we need some type of help or we need some type of support. We've been to the city council meetings, county council meetings, protests, and social media and all of that. And we
Yep.
still being ignored and not being spoken to. And I feel like it's going to take maybe a letter coming from an attorney to say, hey, we are advocating for the people of Erie as a whole. And I'm
Yeah.
not exactly sure what that would take, but I think it's to the point to where maybe we as a people
Mm-hmm.
need to figure out how we can get us a civil rights attorney because again, this is speculation. I'm not sure, but it
Mm-hmm.
kind of seems like a violation of our rights as a people for our district attorney to not be speaking to us about what's going on, about
Yep.
the happenings in our community. And that's another thing. Like when I be talking about justice, that's what I mean when I say justice looks like more than the rest because I believe it is her duty to be having this conversation and communications with us, and for her to be ignoring us and not paying attention, and to outright not be speaking to the public
Mm-hmm.
is so. Yeah, it does seem like there's some stuff going on, and maybe she is trying to either protect herself, cover herself up, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
she has that piece of information and she's probably like, "Hey, yo, you better do what you can so you can get ready to flee and get up out of here because when it goes down,
Right.
it's gonna go down. This is not
Yep.
looking good for you." You know what I mean?
Yep.
And if what you're saying is true and the cello was supposed to max out
Mm-hmm.
or in January and he got a special extension for 6 months and there is no documentation of that anywhere,
Yep.
then that man was on parole falsely, which is pretty much like a false imprisonment
Yep.
because you in jail past your max date. They have to let you out at midnight on your max date,
That's right.
and you held him for 6 more months, which means you've disturbed his life for 6 more months up until the point of death.
Yep.
That sounds like premeditated to me, man.
Absolutely. Now, for those that just joined us, we kind of backtracked into some of this information that we've already known already. Just to go over it again, we all knew that Cello was supposed to max out on July 18th of 2025. Sources tell Etcetera that he was placed on an extended special probation late fall of 2024 for 6 months, but did not tell him the reason why he was placed on this 6 month extension. So, backtracking from July 18th, that would take him back to January 18th of 2025, which would have been his max out date at that point. So, if that's the case and he actually did max out, and we're stating that what if Kevin Seelinger lied about this extension and he technically was off probation, that means he killed a civilian, an unarmed man in the vehicle. And the reason why we have certain speculations and we're digging deep on a lot of this information is the DA's fault. The reason why it's the DA's fault is because she's not speaking to us. She's not telling us what's going on. We've had two simple statements from her no press conference whatsoever, but she's only told us the certain things that we have known already. So now, when we're looking at all of the avenues, and I say, well, what if Kevin Seelinger lied? Well, he allegedly shot and killed Cello. Cello's not here, so if he's capable of doing that, he's capable of lying. And if that is the case, we got a problem. We got a major problem, and we're on day 95, and no one knows why it is taking this long to make a decision. So we can't do nothing but poke holes into this and speculate, because she's not giving us any real, like, heartfelt information to go by. Day 95, man. I appreciate your comments on this one, D. This could be, it could really be a game changer if we turn out to be correct. And it is truly on the burden of proof is on the state to prove that Cello, his max date was July 18th versus January 18th, because that is a game changer when it comes down to this particular investigation. All right. I want to move on just a bit. We had, speaking of Cello, a wonderful protest this past Saturday, which was yesterday. Great turnout. We took it back to the original place where it all started. The very first protest was on 21st in Parade, and there was a really good turnout. D, you were there. You showed up, man. I want you to talk about the protest. Just your thoughts there. I know you were upset because of Wednesday. You and Mimi O'Connor went to the city council meeting, early city council meeting, 9 o'clock, I believe, and you guys said some very good things, and both of you invited all 7 city council members to our protest. Now, there was the prayer vigil for Charlie Kirk down at Perry Square, but we invited them personally, through you guys, to 21st and Parade. Tell me about the protest. Tell me who showed up.
So yeah, no, the protest, it was nice, to see people out there. People was out there. We held down all 4 corners of the street. The news showed up. It was kids out there. Shamir Shamil was out there. The mother was out there. So yeah, no, it was a great turnout. As far as how I'm looking at it, was out there from 12 to 2:30. I was, I stayed back and I paid attention to everything that was going on before I actually came over there to join everybody. But when I got there, I was just looking around to see, if it was some familiar faces, see if it was some new faces. There was a lot of cars riding by, people blowing the horn and all. Yeah. What I will say though, I'm not sure how many people caught this, but there was a police car that came through. I feel like they were pretty rude and disrespectful how they came through. Like, they came speeding through with their lights on, and then when they got maybe like a block away, the lights went off. And so it pretty much just kind of seemed like it was I don't want to sit here for this mess, go through it. And then you see police officers were hitting people and stuff in Erie. So that's crazy. Like, coincidentally, the police officer sped through our protests, and you fast forward to the next day, and the police hit somebody. But yeah, so as far as like the people who was there, of course, the nucleus of folks was there. Everybody who's been out here seeking justice for Cello, people who've been coming to the city council meetings, county council meetings, so on and so forth. And then, like I said, like you were saying, so when we went to the city council meeting, it was on a Wednesday morning. A lot of people don't go to those meetings,
Right.
So those aren't the meetings that's like, oh, it's a bunch of people and it's loud, and to where they can feel or think, yo, we got an audience and now we finna try to yell and scream at them. I believe I spoke more peacefully than Mimi did, and that's typically not the case.
Right.
But she let them know, hey, we're having this protest, 21st and Parade. She said, I'm not the organizer. I'm just down, wish you guys could come. Mel said, well, when is it?
Yeah.
He told her. I believe he wrote it down. Now, I can't say that's what he wrote down because I didn't see what he wrote down.
Correct.
When she asked him,
he
wrote. So then after that, I go up there and speak. First thing I say, hey, I want to echo what she said. Yes, we're having something on this day. There's also another prayer vigil on that day. So if you're not going to be at that one, can you please come to ours? I said the county executive is going to be down there speaking, and the state representative is going to be playing a band. There's somebody on city council who has a band. Maybe you can provide some music. Maybe you guys can come speak. I'll bring a microphone. I'll be a speaker if you want to do that. But we are asking you all to show up for us.
Yes.
Extend the invitation. All 7 of them were there. Now the mayor wasn't present, so we can't we
Yeah.
can't say the mayor didn't show up. He knew, but again, that would be speculation because what I know for a fact, myself, I invited them, and I heard me invite them. They were aware of the time, they were aware of the day, they were aware of the location.
Yep.
So take us back to the protest. We're there. So when I get there, mind you, I came a little, I was a little late.
Mm-hmm.
When I got there, the first person that I did see that is not an elected official who's running, I seen Christina Vogel.
Okay.
I seen Christina Vogel, who is currently running for county executive. She was out there, regular civilian clothes, holding a sign. She didn't have none of her. She wasn't passing out flyers, buttons, or nothing like that. She came out there.
Mm-hmm.
She stood up with us. She was out there with some people from the Erie County United. She was with Carlos. Well, I seen Carlos and her talking. I'm not sure if they were together. And then
Okay.
Marty was there. So Christina Vogel, who's running for county executive, she was there. Then I seen Daria Devlin. Oh no, I didn't see Daria. They told me Daria was there because then I turned a corner, and then I saw Angie Amatangelo, who is on the school board. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So we had some representation from the school board, and she was standing by Dr. Tyler Titus, who was on
Okay.
city council.
Yes.
So again, I'm sitting around peeping the scene. I look and I'm like, I saw Kathy Shaw. Okay, boom. So Kathy showed up. So we're hanging out. Kathy Shaw was there. So then a gentleman by the name of William Deere, he's running for county council. He's running for Charlie Bell's seat out in, I'm not sure what district that is,
Okay.
but so he was there. And then I seen as I got closer, I seen Constantine. Like him and I became cool. That's Tina Hyotis, if I'm saying her last name. That's her husband. So then I
Okay.
seen Tina Hyotis. She's one of the Republican candidates. She's running for the seat. But she
Gotcha.
was there. And then I saw Kevin Pastevka. He's
Okay.
running for Jim Wynorski's seat. He was there. And then later on, I went to see him just hanging out. So I go stand on the other side of the street. I'm chilling. And I
Mm-hmm.
seen Chuck. Chuck pulled up. He spoke. I think Chuck was on all four corners. He walked around all four corners. He talked to folks, and he spoke to everybody. So from city council, it was Chuck Nelson, Kathy Shaw, Dr. Tyler Titus. As far as people running for seats, Kevin Pastevka was there.
Mm-hmm.
Daria Devlin was there. Christina Vogel was there. William Deere was there. As far as the Erie School District, Angie Amatangelo, who serves on the Erie School Board, she was there.
Okay.
And then there was some people who who work for organizations, who lobbyists. Dr. Kuligowski was there. Susanna Faulkner, she was there. So, like, it was a nice turnout as far as
Yeah.
people who were, just showing up, holding signs. I don't know who brought the water, but somebody brought water, snacks. It was cars going by. They
Yeah.
had the table set up for people to make their own signs as things went along. So it was hot. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just the sun just happened to want to be there today. So and there was
Yeah.
people with bullhorns all over the place. So it was a lot of people screaming.
Yeah.
You had people with the Justin Pacello signs. They
Yeah.
Chateria dropped off a bunch of yard signs, so people was passing out yard signs. It was a balloon release. But yeah, it was people on all four corners. We were making noise, cars going by, blowing the horn. So
Yeah.
when you say like peaceful and impactful, again, it was a bunch of folks there. We made a lot of noise. There was a lot of love, a lot of support. So that was great. But I don't want to say like upset, but it was more disappointing when like you didn't see the other elected officials there.
Yeah.
Because I didn't go back and watch the tape. I don't.
And you're talking about the ones that were invited.
Yeah,
personally.
the four who I personally invited,
Yeah.
me personally invited. So
Mhm.
I don't know if they said they had other things to do, but I will know is they didn't show up.
Yeah.
And it was very, very interesting to me to see how the numbers played out.
Mhm.
Because when things go on, let's say for instance, if we say, hey, we want to put more street lights on East 21st Street.
Mhm.
If it's in the budget, they vote. If you get 4 votes, it's a
Yes.
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 It's a yes. You get
Majority.
3 votes, the people who 3 is kind of like, yeah, we don't like what y'all doing.
Mhm.
So the council as a whole has to take the stance for the 4, and no matter what, that's the decision for the 7.
Mhm.
So then when you have a protest, you know what I mean, and you invite them, and you see 3 show up, and
Right.
4 not show up, what it says is, to me, the city council doesn't support us having a peaceful protest. Now, it is our right as United States citizens
Mhm.
to gather in a protest in a peaceful manner in a public space. So what they also were showing is they don't support us exercising our rights
Right.
as United States citizens. They don't support us standing and seeking justice for Cello. And
Yep.
then they're also showing us that again, they're not going to come stand up for us. And when you compare it to the other vigil, I'm not going to speak too much life into it, but
Yeah.
there were people who are willing to stand for their beliefs and go down there and speak and play music, right?
For somebody that they didn't even know.
That part is not from here.
Yep.
So then here's another thing, right? So the four people who did not come was Mel Witherspoon,
Yep.
Mo Troop,
Mm-hmm.
Ed Brzezinski. These
Right.
three are always in cahoot. When it comes to voting,
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, those three are together. They locked in. And then you have Jasmine Flores who didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
So then when you think about it like that, Ed Brzezinski's a retired school teacher, so he probably taught some kids in that neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
Mel Witherspoon's basketball court is, and
Yeah.
you could crawl over there and still
Yeah.
get there. You know what I mean? Like,
Right down the street.
this is your neighborhood. This is your area. You didn't show up. Mo Troop, this is his neighborhood because of Erie. So anybody who's a person of color, that's your neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you work for the Erie Public Schools and you helping the kids who come from that neighborhood. Like, it's a bus stop that used to take all the kids to Central and Strong Vincent and East right on those corners.
Yep.
So again, we asked them to come to your neighborhood, your community. Speak Jasmine Flores, like she live right down the street from there. It's not too far because she lived right across the street from the I see her house almost every day. I go to the cemetery often.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't live too far from there either. It's a straight shot, a straight drop.
Yep.
So it's like y'all won't come and speak up to us or speak for us, but it's about to be election time and they're gonna be at their friends' events. Yep. You know what I mean? They're gonna be knocking on doors and they're gonna be having these parties and they're gonna be having these, okay, we'll come to our fundraiser and all, and they're gonna want people to come and vote them in. But it's like, yo, we didn't ask them for no money.
Right.
I said if you wanted to, you could speak. We didn't ask them to speak.
Mm-hmm.
We just asked that they show up and let us know that they are supporting us trying to get justice for Marcello and trying to get change within the city of Erie. So it was 4 people who said no. So if it was to say, let's say they went in the back and had a conversation in caucus and they're like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Yep. If 4 of them say, no, we ain't doing it. So the 3 people who did come, they stepped out on faith and they went against a decision that was made from the city council as a whole. And it wasn't nothing that was formal, but they showed us 4 people don't support us. And the thing is like, you know, I always go off on my tangent. Hold on. The thing is like, when we break down these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start with Jasmine.
Yeah.
So I remember when Donald Trump was running for president,
mm-hmm.
Jasmine made some posts on her Facebook, rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people. She was calling people out, calling them racist and telling them they need to check themselves and check their hearts, all because of the hat that they wore.
Right.
So it was like, yo, it was bad, and people was trying to tell her, and she doubled down and was like, I don't care. I'm going to continue to say it, and I stand on it. Mm-hmm. So what they did was, hey, we want her job. We want her fired. People sending letters, threats, all of that. So they went to a city council meeting, Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Deep, packed like how we was packing. They making noise, all out of order, red hats on. Get her out of here. You're a racist. They talking trash to her, right? So I seen this like, yo, that's a woman.
Yeah.
They tripping.
Yeah.
So then Jasmine, you know, riled up the community. Hey, guys, I'm having a meeting. They coming back for me. Would you guys stand and support me? There's a bunch of people wearing blue hats, Puerto Rico on them. You know, I had my Scully on, like my knit. I went down there.
Yeah.
And I spoke up.
Yeah.
And I said, all of that don't matter. Like, that's when the kid got killed. This is what we need to be focusing on.
Right.
So that kind of shifted the energy, right? Mm-hmm. So then you get back on social media and they come at her again. And what does she do? She doubled down. I don't care. Y'all need to check yourselves. But this is the kicker, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was going that hard because she thought Kamala Harris was going to win that election and that was going to be her, yeah, look at me, I'm woman, hear me roar type of thing. Now, that's just my assumption.
Right.
So when she doubled down on it, they came and they did it again. We coming back. So what did I do? I went to the city council meeting again.
Yeah.
And had a very similar conversation. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Now we see a bunch of people don't like her, but it's like, yo, because we typically stick up for the brown and black community and the Democrats, this is what we do. This is what I'm thinking.
Right.
So we do that. So then again, you fast forward. Now you a city council person. We running for city council. I'm running for city council. We at these forums. What have you done? I literally watched her flip through a pamphlet. She couldn't answer anything. Mm-hmm. So then it got me thinking, what do you do for city council?
Right.
And then you see all of this stuff going on with these housing programs. Now she had won $10,000 from the Erie Black Wall Street closing on her house.
Right. I remember.
That raised, I'm like, whoa, and it may have been more. I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe it was 10. So I'm
Okay.
like, hold on. How is it the city council person gets it when you got all of these poor people in the community trying to get a crib? Like, is this just to show favor to boost whatever it is that we got going on?
Yeah.
So you see that last. So then she talking about, she always on, yeah, I'm finally finished, start my financial freedom plan, which is great. Don't take that. I'm not trying to knock her from that.
Right.
But it's like, okay, an organization who represents black people gave you 10 bands. And then I found out later, another organization gave her another 10 bands. So she got $20,000 from the community to help her close on a house. Anybody who's watching this video, I'm sure that you all would love $20,000 from the community to help. So she didn't share the information, or at least I didn't see it. This wasn't something that she was saying, hey guys, let me walk you through these programs because there's a free 20. But you can take it, right?
Right.
Well, then this stuff goes on with Cello. We come to the meeting and I share what she said today. Oh, well, I've been trying to close on the house and yada, yada. And she was always on social media talking about it. And the only time that she would speak back is if it was Dan Laughlin calling her out or Brenton Davis, because other people would come to her rescue. Some of her political friends or some of the people who are part of the Democratic Party. If Dan Laughlin calls Jasmine out, it's about 6 or 7 people that I know off the top of my head are going to say, oh, Dan, why don't you just worry about stealing the Erie Reader newspapers? Or, hey, Dan, why do you have time to be on social media? You should be doing the budget. They'll come to her rescue. That's when she'll respond on social media. And that's why I called her out today, because she has no problem responding. Right. And she been in my story all day because, like, me, my story be long. And I go and see, like, Jasmine been checking my story all day, so she probably on edge. But, so it's like, boom, you took 20 bands from the community. A black man was shot and killed, and then you sat there 2 weeks into it. Oh, yeah, I know what it's like because I'm a brown woman. I'm Mexican and Puerto Rican. So she always uses her race for leverage, and she uses that she's from the east side or wherever she's from for leverage to get people to like her. And honestly, the only reason why she's sitting in that seat is because when she was running, the Erie County United put together a campaign, and they endorsed her and put her on the ticket as a Latina woman. We need to be able to be promoting our people, so on and so forth. So that's how she got in. But since she's been there, she's probably done next to nothing. And then when you ask her, what has she done? She won't tell you anything. And this is another thing that I will say, regardless of how I feel about Bishop Brock and what he's done, she will tear a black man down.
Yeah.
She will tell a black man he doesn't deserve money for his aspirations. He doesn't deserve the money to build his community. I never said the man didn't deserve his money.
Right.
I never one time said he should not have money. I've heard Jasmine Flores out of her own mouth say, I want my $1 million back from Bishop Brock. But the thing is, who is she going to give it to? Because she ain't helping nobody.
Right.
So 2 weeks in, you said you would have done something, but you've been moving. We on day 95. So that was 80 days ago. Like, is you still moving into the house? Because when we had a protest yesterday, you couldn't show up. So was that housewarming party day? Or was you getting ready for the election? Or was you downtown at Perry Square at the other visual? Like, why didn't Jasmine show up for a community that she took from? And then on top of that, there are other people within our community who are dying for the opportunity that she received. And she ain't did nothing but take from us. And then y'all think that I shouldn't be talking about her, and y'all think that she should be vote. No person. I'm gonna pull a Joe Biden. You ain't black if you vote for Jasmine Flores. You feel me? That's all because one of our brothers was shot and killed, and she's like, "Oh yeah, they questioned my brothers first before this and this." Like, come on, man, stop trying to use what you look like and where you come from to act like you can speak to what we have going on. But when we ask you to speak to what we have going on, you don't. And the only reason why I'm going so hard on her, bro, is because I stood up for her against the mob. And at this point in time, I didn't know these people. So when you hear, oh, there's a crew of MAGA folk during the time Donald Trump is running for election, I take my big black self down here to go stand up against an angry mob for a woman who I don't even know. And she can't even use her voice to say justice for Cello. Or she can't use her platform to say, let's help these people. Or she can't come show up for a protest. But I came down there and stood up to a MAGA army, not once, but twice for her.
Wow.
And then people were on social media in the comments defending her and backing her up. So at this point, because I ride around and I see the Jasmine Flores signs, And I know there's some people who are her personal friends. I'm not saying she's a bad person.
Right.
She's not a person that I would want to represent me in a seat of city council person. So I'm not trying to take no shots at her character. I'm not trying to say, oh, I hate her, I don't like her. I don't know what she does outside of being a city council person. I wish her nothing but the best, but she can't be the person that's going to be the voice that's going to advocate for me and my community, because when somebody was shot and killed, she got quiet. But if Bishop Brock wants $1 million, you can stand in the way of a black man trying to build his community. We don't have to like how he's doing it, but he's doing it.
Right.
And for anybody to stand his way, she should be the last person, especially if you're going to take money from an organization that's trying to uplift black people, and then you can't speak up for black people when somebody got their foot on their neck. So that's the first thing that I want to say about Jasmine and why I was going so hard at her. And we can go down the whole line of the four who didn't show up.
Yeah, and you have every right, man. And it's funny, the thing that I caught too, she was quick to say that she's a brown person and that she's half Mexican and half Puerto Rican. And then she said, my brothers get pulled over all the time. So she's, again, using the brown thing and using her brother's experience to relate, but she's not using her own experiences to relate. So when you put your neck on the line and you are facing, the whole MAGA world down there twice, and she can't even speak up and form her lips to say, hey man, justice for Cello, yeah, I can see why you have a big problem with that. No doubt about it.
Problem with that.
Yeah.
Because again, not saying like this is my thoughts, but the stigmas that come with going up against this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When you go to speaking up against people who strongly believe in Donald Trump, like, it doesn't go well for everybody. Not saying everybody something bad happens to, but I'm like, yo, I love my city. I'm thinking she do too.
Yeah.
She want to do good things. I'm rocking with her.
Absolutely.
And then when you fast forward, I'm starting to notice her character. She comes off as narcissistic. Mm-hmm. She feels like she deserves things because she's the first Latina president when she was the president. Mm-hmm. When the first Latina president, I do this for my community. I do that for my community. We had these parades. And then I be seeing people in the comments like she was upset about not being able to get front row tickets at the concert and not being able to get free tickets at the Erie SeaWorld, so she wanted to raise a fuss. But outside of that, I've never heard anybody truly actually say Jasmine Flores does an amazing job because she does boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Nobody said Jasmine Flores is but and this is what I will say, and I'm going to continue to say, because I want her to get in the. I've used her face, a video. It's her. Mm-hmm. Her picture's on there. I want her in my comments explaining why she didn't show up, because, like I said, if Dan Laughlin were to call out Jasmine Flores, she's in those comments. If Britton Davis call out Jasmine, she's in those comments. If Mike Kelly mentions Jasmine Flores, she's in those. I haven't seen her call these guys misogynistic. I done seen her call people racist to defend herself. I've seen her say people just outright don't like her because she's accomplishing in her community. I've seen her even brag and say, yeah, they tried to keep me out, but the community has spoken, so I just won the primary election. You know what I mean? And it's like, she's bragging in our faces that no matter what we try to do to her, she's still going to get the seat because her community supports her. So I'm not sure what she does for the Hispanic community or the Latino or the Latina, or not to disrespect, but I would love to hear some of those people speak on her behalf, any of her supporters, to prove me wrong. But when it comes to black people, or when it comes, we're gonna take that. When it comes to parolees, when it comes to people who live in the inner city, when it comes to people who are unarmed and shot and killed, Jasmine Flores does not care. Until she gets comfortable and cozy in the new house that she just purchased with the assistance of the Erie's Black Wall Street and the assistance of the Sister St. Joseph Network. So for anybody who's watching this, who supports Jasmine Flores, and who is going to vote for her, and who is a huge advocate for her, I would love for them to explain to us, the people, why we should be voting for her. Why should you have a t-shirt on with her logo on it? Why should you have a sign in her yard? The only purple yard signs I want to see is Daria's signs. I don't want to see them signs, because what does she do? And like, somebody in the comments, she thinks the Latino population will get her reelected. So that's why I want to call those folks. I want to speak to those people who are going to endorse her, those people who she advocates for, and I want them to let us know what's so good about Jasmine. I don't think that they should be supporting her when it comes to a city council person. Again, not to take away. I don't want her to not be able to earn money. I don't want her to not be able to live a happy life. I don't want her to not be able to live healthy and have opportunity. She cannot be one of the 7 people who controls the budget and who creates policy in Erie, Pennsylvania, because when issues like this take place, she has shown that she will not show up for us. But if she wants VIP tickets for Erie events, oh, she's going to make some noise.
Yeah.
If she wants to go to a Seawolves game, she's going to make some noise. If Bishop Brock wants to try to get some money to build his church, she's going to make some noise. But a black man is shot and killed. Cello was shot and killed. I'm sorry, guys. I've been what did she say? I've been getting ready to. I'm moving into. I'm getting ready to close on this house, and I work 6 days a week. And I'm so sorry that I couldn't help you guys seek justice for a man who was shot and killed. But my plate was full. I'm horribly like.
It's day 95. I'm sorry.
And again, I came. So anybody who's watching this or who just tuned in, like. Deontay Cooley, came to a city council. I had a snowsuit on for one meeting. You know what I mean? Like, it was a storm. Like, I'm down here, like, leave this lady alone. Like, why is y'all bothering her?
Yeah.
Like, she's standing on business. I'm like, she need a mentor. She needs somebody to sit her down and tell her, like, hey, yo, you're insulting people and you're offending people and you come off with the attitude that you don't care. Like, I'm pretty sure, based on what she's shown us in the past on social media and in person in her presentation, she's enjoying the fact that we are upset that she has not spoke up for us. I'm pretty sure she's talking to her group of friends and like, oh, look at them. Now they're saying my name, because she posted a status before. I'm over here just minding my business, moving into my new house, and I see that I'm on everybody's mind and I'm relevant to y'all. So she gets a kick out of people saying, we are hurting by your actions and by your comments, and we don't want you to represent us. She laughed at the people who had the MAGA hats on. Now I believe that she's laughing at us, whoever who her group of friends is, and she think this is a joke that we are saying, Jasmine Flores, we don't want you there. And if she does win, I guarantee you she will throw it back in our face and insult us. Even if she does win, she still has no business saying na boo boo to us. But that's how childish and immature she is. She should not get that seat. Nobody should be voting for Jasmine Flores. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're Puerto Rican, Mexican, Indian, whatever it is that you are. Don't vote for Jasmine Flores if you listening to me. I mean, when it comes to my situation. Now, I'm not saying she's a bad person. Not a good city council person.
And actions speak louder than words. So that is number 1 down. We got a good crowd watching us, good viewership right now. I want to go back to what we opened the show with, and then we're going to come back to number 2 out of the 4 that weren't there, and I'm going to let you go hog wild on it, DC. But just going back for the viewers that just hopped on and that have been watching for just a little bit, we opened the show talking about a couple of things. So we're at day 95 with the Cello investigation, and we all know, we've talked about this before, that on July 18th, he should have maxed out from parole. So he was given, sources tell, etc., that he was given a special extended 6-month probation. They don't know what this was about, what it was for, but he was told by his probation officer that he had a 6-month extension. So if he had a 6-month extension, and we do know that he was supposed to be maxed out on July 18th of 2025, that means his original max out date was January 18th of 2025. So I posed, just trying to speculate here. This isn't a fact because we don't know the answer to this, but I want you all to start thinking about this. What if his parole agent lied to him? What if Kevin Seelinger lied to Cello about this 6-month extended probation? What if he was actually off probation January of 2018? Now, the reason why I say that, and you say, well, why would he lie? Why would he lie? Why would he shoot and kill him? He allegedly did that, Cello's not here anymore. All right. So if he was capable of doing that, then what's a lie to him? You see what I'm saying? So what if he did lie? If he did lie, then that means if this were true, that Cello was shot and killed in a car, unarmed, and he was a civilian at the time. He was not on parole, if this was true. And if that were the case, he should have been arrested that night. So we need to see documentation, because the documentation and the burden of proof goes back to the state to show that he had an extended probation and when his max date should have been. We were told July 18th, but we haven't seen July 18th. So, of course, when you backtrack, and we're going by what our sources tell us, is that if you go back 6 months, it would have been January 18th of 2025. They got to prove us wrong, and there could be a very big twist to this investigation. All right, DC, number 2 candidate or elected official that wasn't there. Who was it?
So then another person who wasn't there. So I guess I could just speak to Ed Brzezinski, because I really don't know him that well.
Yeah.
But I just know that he sits up there with the cocky attitude. He always joking and playing. He has a better than attitude. You understand what I'm saying? Like when I'm running, like even the way he presented himself, the way that they treated Brooke Sanfilippo when she was running for city controller, like they literally ran both of them for city control. He ran for city controller to try to railroad the election. You know what I mean? And he's run for multiple seats multiple times on the tickets just to be disruptive. And he like him and Mel were what you would call like the old boys club. So he was the one who had the most say so or to push back on selling a zoo because of the golf course. You know, the old heads played golf. They didn't want to give over the power. They didn't want to ruffle no feathers for their friends. So they pushed back on that. Yeah. They pushed back on name in the street after what's his Carter Starachi.
Okay.
Oh, we don't want to name it after him. What about the other athletes? So on and so forth. He also was the one who was like, oh yeah, Cliff doesn't need to be heckled when he come down here. So that dude just got a smart mouth, and I believe he think everything funny. Like I've literally sat here and watched him make jokes about serious conversations, or he just sit up there and so like Ed Brzezinski is not even somebody that I would consider to be somebody who can advocate for me or advocate for anybody who I know, because I don't take that dude serious. And at this point, he just looks like he's a career politician, because if you're sitting on city council, and you still got 2 years to go, why would you run for city controller as well? And why have you ran multiple times? And why are you still sitting in that seat? Like, do he get free? I don't know what his perks are for the authorities that he oversees or the commissions that he oversees, but I also would like to know what he does other than sit there and be an older individual who takes up space and doesn't want to lead aside of his friend Mel. Because when that message came back, his daughter said, oh, well, no, Mel wasn't talking to you when he said, I'll kill you. He was talking to his friend Ed, because Ed said to him, well, when your 2 years is up, you can help me run this city because I still got 2 years. So with that being said, from what I'm hearing is there's a possibility for a special appointment, because what they're saying is Dr. Titus might get chief of staff if Daria wins, which means a seat will be open and available, which means that they can appoint Mel Witherspoon, or because Chuck Nelson lost the election, they can appoint Chuck Nelson for another 2 years until that seat is up. If that does happen, if Dr. Tyler Titus does decide to take a job with Daria, then what we as the people need to do is we need to call for a special election, and we need to identify some candidates who can submit their resume and be interviewed by the rest of the city council before they just appoint somebody who's already been sitting there, who has gotten us to this point anyway. So that's one roll route. That's why when his daughter said that, that's why Ed threw that out there, and that's why Mel Witherspoon is sitting there now, because what's her name? I forget the lady's name. It'll come to me. But she resigned because Chuck became president, and she didn't want no parts of it. She resigned, and Susanna Faulkner filled it in, and then they were going to have a special election, but they just was like, okay, well, we're going to reappoint Mel, and this is what I meant. So when that came up, I don't think, because I wasn't that informed at the time either, I don't think the community was either, because I was watching the videos. It was a packed house down there. Like, y'all need to give Mel this seat. He's done so much for the community. He's done so much for the youth and black people. And y'all need to put him in that seat. Who will be better? So and this is what they did. They voted 3-3. It was 7. Mel couldn't vote, so it was a split. So the mayor was left to make a decision, and the mayor appointed them. What they did was they literally jerked us. And they did some illegal stuff right in our face so that they can keep Mel and Ed together. So them dudes is like the Muppets, you know, the two old dudes who sit in the opera. They like them because at this point, like, they don't want to leave each other's side, so they should probably just go together.
That's crazy, man. That is too funny. Good transition for you. All right, that's number 2 down.
Yeah.
Out of the 4, number 3 is
Mel Witherspoon. and I'm gonna say Mo for last because,
yep.
You know, but Mel. Okay, so here's the thing. He got appointed there.
Yeah.
Your park is around the corner. I believe they named the park after him. You're the president. Mm-hmm. You asked what time it was, and you didn't show up. It's walking distance from the neighborhood. Like, Mel's safe over there. Like, ain't nobody doing nothing to him. Mel walked through that joint. It's parting like the Red Sea. Why did he not show up and he asked for the time? And then it's like, that man is a liar. Mm-hmm. And he proved it. You know what I mean? Like, Jared asked him, remember, they don't talk to us at the city council, but the president can. And Jared knew that, which is why he was directing his questions at Mel. Yeah. And I think, you know, Mel get up there, he get impatient, and he get a little hot-headed, so he wanted to answer him to be smart. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he like, yeah, you know, we followed up. He was like, well, no, we sent the letter. Did you do it personally? He was like, okay, well, what was the response? Are you not going to tell us? And then Mel said, well, I talked to the Erie County Council president. That's not what you were asking. That is not what he said he was going to do. That's true. If I will go, I'll go back and release that one too. He said, if we don't hear something, I'll go over there myself personally.
That's what he said. I remember.
And do it. Yep. So when Jared asked him, did he go over there in personally and do it? He said, yes, I did. Mm-hmm. He's like, Jared said, oh, you did? He said, I spoke to the Erie City Council president. Mm-hmm. We got access to the Erie City Council president. I mean, County Council president. We don't need you to do that for us. So, boom, you stood right there. But the thing is Mel Witherspoon has sat in that seat for as long as I can remember. They say he termed out 12 years. It seemed like it's longer. Or maybe he's just been not relevant. Yeah. And again, I'm not saying that these people are bad people, and I'm not trying to take away anything that anybody has ever done. Right. But at this point in time and right now, y'all not doing anything. They're not doing anything. And then we come in the room, and we are welcome with, I'll bang this gavel and clear it by the sound of this gavel. I can clear this room. Yep. You know what I mean? Then he's sucking his teeth at me when I'm talking to him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then I shot a man in the face. Yeah. And then he get caught on the hot mic like, I'm going to kill you. And then we come back down there, and now they telling us we can't say their names, but we allowed to give them praise because, again, when they stood up for him, the entire, everybody screaming, Mel Witherspoon, Mel Witherspoon, Mel. Ain't nobody say, hey, don't call him by his name. I done heard him before invite, me and you can meet outside. He done told the man at a meeting, we can meet outside. When they was coming down there for Sonia Arrington. Mm-hmm. There was people down there like, we want Sonia Arrington fired. Mel out there, we come outside. I heard he just slapped somebody recently within the last year. They said Mel slapped the man in the face. Wow. So it's like, it gets to the point to where, like, how long do you let a bully sit up there and a thug sit up there, because that's how he talking, that's how he acting. And then you would think on the flip side, it has to be some type of an agenda to appoint him, because if you're about to be done in 2 months, why not just put it all on the line and go hard?
What do you have to lose?
Like, these are my people. This is my community. I'm calling you out publicly, Elizabeth Hurts, do something. I'm calling you out public. Whoever he can call out or whatever he got to do, what we can't force him to quit. Like, I did my research. So there's no sign a petition, forward a petition, get him to resign. And by the time we do all of that, it's going to be November anyway.
Election time.
So at this point, why is Mel Witherspoon not giving us every single thing he got? Yeah. And why isn't he swinging for the fences to support the people who's been over there playing basketball on his court, playing basketball on his hoops and all of that? And this is another thing, like, a lot of people don't notice, but they finna try to take all of them programs and just send them over there to the Eagles Nest now, because they got the new sports complex. And I believe that's why he's trying to stay relevant, and that's why Mo Troop stayed in cahoots with him, and that's why Ed Brzezinski attached himself to him, and we've seen those 4 votes happen today. I will say that I know Jasmine Flores wouldn't vote for Bishop Rock to get any funds or any money, but those 3 will.
Yeah.
And now everything is going from the Booker T. Washington Center or the inner city community over to the Eagles Nest. So I wish them nothing but the best of luck. But when
Right.
it comes to having politicians in position who are just going to have an influence to put money in people's pockets, we can't keep having that, because
Yeah.
there are other people who are doing similar work, who need money, who need resources, and we can't keep sending the resources to the same people. And as long as Mel Witherspoon has been sitting in that seat, the funds and the resources and the biggest chunks have been going to the same people, which are his friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
His friends. And because he's been here long enough, he
Mm-hmm.
knows everybody in the city of Erie. So he don't even got to say it for it to happen, but he said it, and that's why it happened. So we need to start waking up, and we need to start understanding that. So for him to be sitting there and him not be willing to put it all on the line is
Mm-hmm.
because he has somebody else who's going to have an interest, and he's probably already dropped that bug or that information in everybody's ear to say, hey, when this comes up, remember who put you here.
Right.
Remember who appointed you to that board. Remember who voted yes for you when you needed those yeses. Remember who voted no. Now, moving forward, when my guys call you,
Mm-hmm.
you do these things. Because if not, if you don't have an agenda when you leave, why aren't you putting it on the line for all of us? And just like you had your friends call me to
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, Deontay, chill, or hey, Deontay, let's have a meeting. Why your friends weren't calling Elizabeth Hurts? And why ain't his friends speaking up right now? Like,
Yeah.
we want justice. Mel Witherspoon is connected to a lot of powerful people in the city of Erie and in the county of Erie. Why aren't his friends who was trying to get in contact with me making more noise? Why Bishop Brock ain't at the city council? And I don't know what he preaches in his congregation. I know I go to Pastor Cook Church, and he preach justice for Cello.
Right.
And he tell people to get themselves prepared for what justice is going to look like. And
Yep.
he's not trying to monetize and benefit from it. But I
Right.
know through this Justice for Cello movement, Bishop Brock came down there to try to purchase a repository behind his empire back there so he can continue to build. And they pass it and they let him buy it for $250. But he ain't making no noise for justice that I can see,
Right.
that we can see. Pastor Ryan Gaines was down. He had hosted something in his church. You know what I mean? So you got the young pastors who are getting involved with what we have going on. And then you got all of these you got these people who trying to keep their friends in office to pass things along. So Mel Witherspoon, he should just leave tomorrow. It's Monday. Just go down there and be like, listen, man, I'm tired. This young man ain't stopping breathing down my neck.
Yep.
Now they talking about me on social media. Everybody looking at me like I'm a fraud. He should have just retired when he won the Super Bowl, like how them superstars do, man. Go out with the rings, because at
That's
this
it.
point,
Yeah.
the reputation is not going to be good around here. He's going to go out bad, and I'm going to make sure of it. I'm going to continue to say, when a man was killed at the end of your term, you didn't want to speak up and step forth. You antagonized us. You threatened us. You insulted us. You made fun of us, and then you ignored us, and you couldn't even show up for your people. So that's how I feel about Mel. And everybody like, oh, y'all going too hard on Mel, and y'all need to chill. Like, Mel need to go hard for us.
Yeah.
And y'all need to, anybody who supports him, anybody who feels like we going too hard, the reason why we're going this hard is because he's not coming to talk to us. He's
Right.
not showing up for us. So anybody who was trying to send me messages, or the people who was defending him in those comments that day, speak up for him now and ask why he didn't show up after we've been breathing down his neck when he asked for the day and the time. I want those same people who put that energy into that post, and those same people who are putting that energy into inboxing me and calling me and trying to schedule sit downs with Bishop Rock and trying to schedule sit downs with Mel Witherspoon. I want y'all to have the same energy into him ignoring us and him not showing up in his neighborhood
Yeah.
to come support what we were trying to do to just show face. So let's put the heat on his ass. Let's ask him, why you ain't showing up for us like we need you to? What do you have to lose at this point? Who's paying him, and who's going to be paying him when he's done? Because he clearly has plenty to lose.
Yeah. I am very, very shocked that Spoon did not show up. Especially, he sounded genuine and was intrigued about when he asked when it was on Wednesday at the city council meeting. I thought he would be one, being his neighborhood too.
But
That
you
he
want to know what's
would.
crazy? He
Yeah.
said that before at one of those city council meetings. He said, I want to talk to that young brother. Somebody get his number for me. Somebody let me know that he said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, well yeah, he can reach out to me. I ain't hard to find. Let him know.
Absolutely.
And we had an email exchange in the past, but that was all for show. So Mel is sitting at meeting and try to play sharp, but he's not dealing with idiots. You are talking to educated people. You are amongst educated people. Like, I'm not exactly sure what Mimi's credentials are,
But
I
she
know
got
mine.
him. Yes,
I know
absolutely.
mine. And you weren't talking to no fool when you sitting here trying to play chess with a mastermind.
Right.
You weren't talking to no fool when, like, I've studied people for a living, bro.
Yep. Yep.
I how to write treatment plans regularly to help people identify their problems and how to become better. That means I had to call out liars to help them be better. So one thing that nobody's going to be able to do is sit and look at me in my face and tell me a lie while I'm assessing everything that they got going on.
Right.
That's what you try to do, but they ain't dealing with no idiot. And I'm glad that I'm here for my people because I feel like a lot of people would have let some of this stuff go over their heads. So I'm here to step for everybody.
Yep. Hey, so that's number 3. I want to go to the comments here. While Bill Rayner says, I'm not a lawyer, going back to what we were discussing about Marcello possibly having a max parole date on January 18th of 2025. He says, I'm not no lawyer, but believe only the judge can extend probation. And if that is the case, they don't know of a judge extending any probation because that's what would have been told to us by our source. So we may be on to something, man. We definitely may be on to something. So we got number 1, we got number 2, we got number 3 down. There's one left. Who's number 4?
So number 4 is Mo Troop. And the reason why I say them for last is because I feel like we are lacking strong black men in our community, and Mo sit up there and act like a sucker. He sit up there and he act like a sucker. And this is what's interesting too. I told him that to his own face a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You a sucker, Mo. I'm a sucker. I said, yeah, you a sucker, man, because you sat up there and you did all of that talking. And you worked for the Erie Public Schools and you sold our kids to the FBI. When we talked about that Unified Erie program, Mo was, oh yeah, we got a watch list of 50 kids, and and then you would see him post some stuff. I'll say it again: all kids at Erie High aren't bad kids. There are some good kids here. Well, then highlight them.
Yeah.
Why ain't you doing that for the kids, or why you ain't talking for the kids? Like you see Etcetera bigging up the kids more than you see Mo, and she only been working there a year and some change. You ain't never seen Mo speak highly of no kids. And then he sit down there at the city council meeting with the Erie High shirt on, like. That's an insult to them kids because as a black man working in that school, you're supposed to be somebody they want to be like. You're supposed to be somebody they look up to. And I'll ask you this. Would you want your sons to look up to Mo Troop? No, I wouldn't want my son to look up to Mo Troop. I wouldn't want my nephew to look up to Mo Troop. And the thing is, he's been working for the Erie Public Schools for how long? He don't even got a following. He ain't even had nobody. He don't even got a team of people to be like, yo, Deontay, chill. That's Coach Troop. Like, remember Saving now he coached us, or nah, Mo always been good. Like, I seen people going in on him. Like, they said he was in the school. I guess he mooned some students one time. You know what I mean? Like, they said he was, walking around school. Like, so when you sit in a city council seat and you say, oh yeah, well, my uncle Larry Meredith. When you throw his name around, Larry Meredith was a great man.
Yeah,
when
he
was
was
out there working at the JFK. So I know he was a lawyer and all of that, but I just remember from being at the JFK, Mr. Larry didn't play no games with us. So for Mo to be his nephew and to be acting like a sucker is a slap in the face. And then to use his name for leverage in the community is also a slap in the face because Larry Meredith wasn't no sucker, man.
Yep.
He wasn't afraid of nobody. He gonna tell you what it is, and he might tell you go get your dad.
Yeah.
At the age of 60, 70, Larry Meredith wasn't no sucker. But Mo want to throw that name around. And then like, oh, my I believe his grandmother, Odessa. I don't know the lady. Well, I know they got Odessa's place over there, so I don't have anything to say about that. But Mo's like, oh yeah, I'm from this community. I was born here. My brother Jerry, and everybody know Jerry was like that. You know what I mean? Jerry Troop was like that. Like if Jerry was in a position that Mo was in, I believe he would have been using his voice, and that's probably why he's not sitting there because he was a little bit more rough than Mo. But like, I told Mo Troop to his face, you are a sucker. I done came to those meetings plenty of times and said, speak up. I done sat in those meetings where they do votes and he doesn't say anything. He was against Carter Starachi getting a street named after him and then start naming all of these other athletes. Like he didn't have an opportunity to be able to do so. So you want to speak against what people are doing, but you don't do shit. Like, I don't know what Mo Troop does up there. I don't know what he does for, city council or for the community or whatever the case may be. So Mo don't do nothing but sit up there and sit quiet, and for you to not be able to come over there. But then here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
If they invite him to Sloppy Duck, he gonna be down there with his guitar.
Yeah.
If they invite him to to Pier 6. He gonna be down there with his
down the
guitar.
Bayfront,
They say
yeah.
come play at the casino. Or here go Mo and the Breeze Band. Let's go in here and let's shuck and jive and let's play the guitar and let's tap dance. But when some real stuff go on, you can't be a real, you know what I mean? But when somebody call you and say, hey, you want to come tap dance for us for a couple coins? Oh, you can go. When you already know what I'm trying to say.
I know exactly what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, so when they say, oh, you want to come inside the house and play some music?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, me and my band could come inside the house and play some music. But then when we say, hey, you want to come in the field and play some music? Oh, no. The people inside the house,
they ain't going to like that.
Like it.
They ain't going to like that.
I came outside the house. If you understand what I'm saying, there are people who watching. If you picking up what I'm putting down, let me know you picking up what I'm putting down. I ain't trying to get myself.
I done picked it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down again.
But what I will say to you is, some people allowed in the house. Some people gotta stay outside. And when people outside getting tired of being treated like they just gotta stay outside, and they call on people inside the house, and they look at us and shut the blinds. And then say, what song y'all said y'all wanted to hear? And how many coins is y'all gonna play me? My granddad warned me about people like that. My uncles warned me about people like that. There was people who moved during times of segregation who warned us about Malcolm X, warned us about people like that. So y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Absolutely. Some of us is in the field and some of us is in the house. And Mo is one of them people that's in the house and he don't stand for us and he don't represent us. And the crazy thing is he works with our children and he sees them every single day. He sees how the youth are hurting from this and he sees how the adults are hurting from this. He sees how this is impacting the city and he couldn't even come down there and bring his guitar and play a little song for us. But if they say, hey, come on inside. Come on inside. You want some of this? You want some of this here lemonade? Come on inside. Don't be out there playing outside with them guys. We don't want you outside with them guys because it ain't gonna be a good look for you. You ain't the type of person that be outside. You the type of person that's inside. You lead them outside guys outside to do the yard work. We need music, entertainment. We need you to sit there and shut your mouth, shake your head, and when we say something. And when it ain't time for you to vote for your people, you just sit there and you don't say nothing. And Mr. Ed over here is going to have you called it. You ever see Django?
Yeah, I was about to say, sound like a movie.
Listen, it sound like Django. Mr. Ed Brzezinski over here is going to let y'all know what y'all can vote for and what y'all can't vote for.
That's right.
And then y'all over here, Mr. Samuel, it was two Samuel Jacksons. Y'all going to sit here and listen to Mr. Ed and y'all going to continue to oppress y'all people. That's what they are to me. And everybody who knows what I'm saying it. And if he want to have a conversation, I'm looking dead in his eyes and tell him exactly what I'm saying, but I'm not going to say it on here. But I want to be clear. Everybody knows exactly what I'm calling Mo True. That's why I'm calling him out. He could have showed up for us. He could show up for our kids. Them kids up there fighting at Erie High. They up there fighting the police, and all he can say is all the kids ain't bad. You supposed to have some strong black men that you can call on, like, hey, fellas, we need to come up here. Like, can I get 20 strong men to just come show these young boys? Like, who is his peers? Like, Mo is working in the school where these kids need to be around adult black men who are strong, who are active in the community. And Mo can't call because I know some guys. And I can tell you, Mo ain't gonna call none of my friends to ask him to come stand with him. He ain't gonna call none of the guys from Men Building Men to come help him out because he don't got that type of access. So at the end of the day, what is he doing for our youth? What is he doing for our city? What is he doing for our people other than sitting there and getting cash packs to him from Mel Witherspoon for playing his guitar inside the house while we all out here in the field trying to figure out when is we going to have to stop picking cotton?
Man, hey, you broke it down, man. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want to go back to the protest from yesterday. I saw something that really touched my heart, and it goes to what you were just talking about these 4 elected officials, these city council personnel that you personally invited to the protest that did not show up. On the let me see here. The southwest corner of Parade Street on 21st, right across the street from the old Huts place. I saw on one of the live videos, I think it was Jerry Roberts, there was a lady with three kids, and the two little girls were holding Justice for Cello signs, man. If these little girls can come out and push for Justice for Cello, why can't these elected officials, man? I seen this, man, and cuz it did two things, man. It broke my heart that these other people are not there, but it gave me strength because I'm looking at this mom who is doing the right things for her children, and these children are fighting for our cousin who's no longer here. Man, and it got me for a minute. It really did. Just seeing that was a beautiful thing. And then hearing how you felt when only three of the seven elected officials took you up on your invitation. Man, I mean, we're on day 95, y'all. I mean, and DC, I know you saw the girls I'm talking about, man. How did that make you feel seeing these kids there? And we had, Deanna was there. She was there. Deanna Chatfield was there.
Man, listen, Deanna had the most to say. She wasn't playing again.
Yes.
But then he was like, Shamir had her granddaughter out there. That was the reel that I shared the other day. Like, there was babies out there. My cousin Shantae, she had her granddaughter out there. Like,
yeah.
And like, I was touched by it because, again, you can see it's growing.
Yep.
And it's growing to the fact that it's just like, we talk about how much we want diversity. The group of individuals who are out there is so diverse, man. I'm talking from, they say I got friends in low places. The song, like, it's people who still live the lives that we ran from, and it's people who are executive directors. We got doctorate level educated people out there. We got, little kids out there, middle-aged kids out there. We got Deanna, she out there doing her thing. Her parents, it's grandparents out there, white, black, Puerto Rican. You got queer people out there. Like, it's amazing to see because, like, people see that we aren't playing and people are feeling our pain. And then it's even people out there who, like, they just, like, at this point say something. Like, they ain't even saying, Cello was innocent, let's fight and all of this. They to the point now, like, yo, y'all don't see these people out here? Like, maybe if I come, you know what I mean? So it was people out there who probably don't even agree with the way that we live our lives, but just like, yo, this is ridiculous. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, how is y'all allowing this to happen? These people done been in the street. These people done been to the meetings. I see this stuff on my Facebook every single day. You got this guy, Deontay. He's blasting public officials. Like, at this point, somebody shut them up. Give them what they asking for. So that's the most beautiful thing about it.
Yeah.
Is we can honestly, truly say that Cello was like the man around here.
Yep.
Like, and like when nobody can ever take that away from him because we've been going hard for this man for 95 days.
Yes, sir.
No matter what, to the point to where the community is coming together, the community is building. It's like, it's Cello City. Yep. And I love it. You know what I mean? And when I say I love it, I don't love the fact that he passed. I love the fact that his death is not going to go in vain. His name is not going to go in vain. His life is not going to go in vain because people forever, for the end of time, will always remember this moment that when Marcello Woodard was shot and killed by his parole agent, the whole city stood up.
Yeah.
And we live in a city where things happen and they go away. It's 2 weeks and then it disappear. We're on day 95 and we are growing.
That's
right. We done been on the news. We done been in the newspaper, the internet. You know, they talking about us everywhere. So it's like, God forbid something happened to me, but if something were to happen to me, this is how I would love to be remembered. Like, I don't want my life to go in vain, my name to go in vain, and we not going to let that happen. So the turnout was great. The diversity was great. When you see little kids screaming, when you see old heads screaming, I mean, even when you see some of the older people who got to take a break to sit down because they can't stand that long. It's like, it's people who are putting their health on the line because they love us, because they believe in us. It's people who putting their jobs on the line who probably shouldn't be in front of them cameras. because they love us and because they believe us. It's people who are running for political seats who could potentially be losing votes for standing with us. It's people who are elected officials who could potentially be losing favor because they're standing with us, and yet they still stand with us, and yet we still grow strength. So this, I mean, overall, it's an unfortunate situation that turned into a beautiful thing. And
Yep.
like I said, God forbid something ever happened to me. This is how I would want to be remembered, and this is how I would want people to fight for my name, for my family, for my significant other, whatever the case may be. We
Yep.
can never, ever, ever, ever take away the fact that Marcello Woodard is and was the man, and we can never, ever take away the fact that Marcello Woodard's name will always be remembered in the
Yep.
city of Erie, in the state of Pennsylvania, and we pushing it to the point to where everybody in the United States is going to know who Marcello Woodard was and how his community fought for him to be able to get justice, and how his community fought for change, and how things are now completely better in the city of Erie because Marcello Woodard was shot and killed. So that's again why I be saying like it's bigger than just an arrest.
Yep.
Is because you can't let somebody go out like that, man. Especially when you that this is we talking legendary, and for whoever has an opinion about who they thought he was prior to this moment, we don't even have to explain Cello's character to anybody. Just look at the impact, look at the movement, look at the diversity, look at the people who are showing up. So, what I look like defending his reputation in the comment section? What I look like going back and forth with somebody about who they thought he was when it's hundreds of people who for damn near 100 days are saying and screaming his name, and it's so diverse that you can't even pick out who's the problem in the room.
Right. And I'm bringing Cello's name down here to Tampa. Coming up next, man, October 18th, Saturday from 5 to 8 p.m. I was asked to speak at the National Day of Protest down here in Tampa. And I got between 5 and 10 minutes to talk about Marcello Woodard down here, man. And so hopefully the news will be there. And I got a good platform to bring him down here to Tampa, Florida. I will be wearing my 814 hat. I got a nice T-shirt made with Cello's name on it. So we are out here grinding, and we're going to take him nationwide, and Cello will be remembered forever. And this is just something that we decided to do because right is right and wrong is wrong. October 20th is the last day to register to vote. Deontay, final parting words. What you got to say about people registering to vote?
Listen, man, that's important now than ever. Like, again, we doing all of this work, we calling out these officials, so we need people registered to vote. But this is another thing.
Yeah.
We need to know our candidates, because if we aren't going to vote for somebody, we have to be voting for somebody else, because every person who's running has a following. So they're going to be able to pull their 1,000 votes or their 2,000, whatever it is that they have their following of. We're not going to be able to have them on the ballot with a 0.
Right.
So what we need to do is we need to be educating ourselves on our candidates. And for any of our candidates who are watching this or who will watch this in the future, like, we need y'all to start putting y'all information out there. We need y'all to start showing up and start speaking up so we can know who has our best interests at heart. Because we can't just say we don't want Jasmine, we don't want Mo. Somebody has to fill those seats, and those somebodies are the people who we know, who we trust, and who we can talk to. So I encourage everybody to register to vote. You know what I mean? Make sure you register to vote. Talk to your friends about being, if you 18, friends and family members, talk to them about getting registered to vote. And then let's educate ourselves on our candidates. I seen somebody on Facebook say today, I'm going to need a cheat sheet for who to vote for. And I'm glad that they shared that, because that's something I don't think that everybody's taking into consideration.
Right.
And Sister Cynthia Mohammed had reached out to me, and she continues to reach out to me to say, hey, we need to put some information out there for our community so they know who to vote for.
Yeah.
We need to create our own pack within the community. And that's not something that we can do in 2 months, but a political action community for people of color, or not even people of color, people of the community who advocate for us. Because, again, we done already been misled by, the guys off Django. So we can't even, you know what I mean? So it's not necessarily, but we need to be able to identify our candidates, and we need to be having a slate that we can pass out to the people in our community who advocate for us and who step for us and who stand for us. These are the people we know have our best interests at heart.
Right.
These are the people who we are voting for, or these are the people who we are doing our research on, and we would encourage you to do the same if you want to support them. But we can't just be checking the Democrat box and checking every person that got Democrat next to their name. And we
Yeah.
can't just be voting for people because, oh, that's a woman. Or we can't just be voting for people because, oh, that's a man, or because they black, or
Yeah.
because they trying to, they from our neighborhood or in our neighborhood. We need to know the candidates. The candidates need to make themselves known. And for those people, for those of us who are educated,
Yep.
we need to be putting out information every single day about the candidates, if they're good candidates or if they're bad candidates, and do it unbiasedly. You know what I mean? Do it to the point to where we're not bashing anybody, but that we're giving information. And again, that's why it probably not be in my best interest, because I'm gonna tell everybody, don't vote for Jasmine, don't vote for Mo. That's maybe biased to me. I was just interacting with Cole Shinley on a post, and he said he was voting for Jasmine. Cole's been very active with us. I asked him to explain why. I looked, he left the whole paragraph. I'm gonna go check that out later. But that's what we want. We want people who are supporting these people to explain to us why, and then maybe they'll start speaking up for themselves. But at this point, we need to be registered to vote. We have what's today? The 5th. 15 days
Yes.
to get the entire city of Erie 18 and older registered to vote, so they can do the mail-in ballots or go vote in person, whatever it is they have to do. The election is November 4th. It is right there. We cannot sleep on this opportunity. We can't make this much noise, and we can't talk this much shit and then just let it just happen. You understand what I'm saying? So we need voter registration drives for the next 15 days, or people, again, sharing it on a regular basis, putting it out there, putting your social media out there. We need people registered to vote and educating themselves on their candidates. And this is what I will say. Tawan Taylor does an amazing job at that. So that's what we need to be tapping into. Tawan Taylor, Abdullah Washington, they're real big on advocating to get people registered to vote. Tawan walk around with a stack of them joints.
Yeah.
And Abdullah keeps an iPad on to get people registered to vote. So we need to be tapping in those people, leaning in those people. But yeah, if we're gonna get those folks out of office, we gotta know who we putting in, and we have to be registered, and we have to be voting.
October 20th, you heard it here first. October 20th is the final date to register to vote. Make sure you get out there and get registered. DC will put in our chat thread the link that will take you right to get you registered to vote, and pass it around, share it, send it to everybody. We appreciate you checking us out tonight on Etcetera with the Woodards, episode 38. As we stated, we are at day 95 in Justice for Cello. Tomorrow's day 96. Make something happen. Be loud. Be heard. Don't go away. Don't be silent. Make sure that you talk about cello and say cello's name and put hashtag Justice for Cello every single day until we get justice for cello. Okay? Appreciate everyone watching us tonight. We had a good crowd watching us. For DC, Deontay Cooley, I'm Craig Woodard. Good night, and we'll talk to you guys